Hey everyone, this is Renault, and I'm just going to do a weekly blog, week in review kind of thing every Saturday. It's just kind of to relax, just talk about the week as I perceive it. And so you might see that the title is "I'm a Loser." Well, that's kind of both ironic and also not ironic. Uh, Most importantly, I did that to hold myself accountable because I'm starting a new diet. And part of that diet is that, I'm going to weigh myself, let people know how I've done. And so if I slack off, I'm going to hear about it. Maybe not immediately because I don't have that many followers. But eventually people are like, hey, man, what's going on? How's your progress going? And so they're like, ooh, dang, how am I going to answer to this if I have a piece of cake or, something like that? And so anyway, so that's part of what it is, and so that's actually the main reason for what it's about. But I figured, if I'm just going to say, hey, I did this and I did that, and I've done this and that, just about my dieting, that's not really going to be much of anything. So I'm just going to review what I've done for the week, basically as well. So let's just get started off with this Tuesday. The semester started for me. I am taking 12 credits. So I'm going to school technically full time, and I'm also going to be working full time, and so that's going to be keeping me pretty busy. And so there's always that one class that's going to be super, where the instructor obviously did not put any effort in. Then there's also that one class where it's obvious that the professor is just trying way too hard. And I found that to be a kind of a dichotomy, even when I was taking just 2 classes a semester in the past. And whether it's you're taking 2 classes or 4 classes, or maybe even if you've taken 6 classes, I don't know. But there's always just that one teacher who's just on autopilot and one who's just trying way too hard. I don't know if they're trying to impress someone or what. But so, and then there's just 2 kind of just average. So there's that. The semester started. I got all my books and everything, and I'm actually done with everything one day early. Normally, the uh, uh, school week ends on Sunday evening. At least how my school work is set up, because I'm doing everything online. So I've got all Sunday to just mess around and not do anything. So that's one thing. And of course, I also mentioned being held accountable for weight loss. I actually weighed myself on Tuesday, and I was, take a breath, 290 pounds. And so I'm a big boy. But, it's better late than never to start doing something about it. You got to start somewhere. And so Tuesday, I weighed myself, I was 290 pounds. So okay, well, let's just get started. And I decided to start doing this just because I noticed I've been filling out some of my shirts, pants, and just kind of like, yeah, I've got all these shirts, and if I keep this up, I'm not going to be able to wear them. So anyway, I weighed myself on Tuesday. I was 290 pounds. That's a lot, but I weighed myself earlier today, and I was 287 pounds. So I just lost 3 pounds, and I did take an active role in that somewhat. I had 2 salads a day. Well, no, 1 salad a day, just as just a little thing. The day I weighed myself. Actually, the day I weighed myself was on Wednesday. Excuse me, and I know because I actually picked up Vampirella, and so I weighed myself on Wednesday. I was 290. I had 1 salad a day. I made a dedicated effort to have 1 salad a day, and then and still just having regular stuff. And I lost 3 pounds. So over a course of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3.5 days. So yeah, already to a good start, and I'm only casually dieting, but that's a pretty good start considering I really didn't try all that hard. In fact, on Wednesday, I went to the comic shop, and then I went to Popeyes to try out their chicken sandwich. And by the way, I went to Popeyes tonight, and the meme is real, y'all. I went to one Popeyes to get their chicken sandwich, and they was just straight up closed. They're like, nah, we're out of chicken, so we're just going to shut the whole thing down. We're not even serving anything else. We're just going to shut the whole thing down. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's 9:15. Let me go to the other Popeyes across town. And there's like line out the door. I'm like, oh my gosh. So the meme is real, y'all, with that whole Popeye and people running out of chicken and big old lines. That's a real thing. It's really happening. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that I've been doing a daily Spelunky videos, daily challenges, because Spelunky allows you to challenge the game once a day. And this week, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday, because Wednesday was a really good day. I actually beat Spelunky on video, so that's pretty cool. Nobody can say I faked it. It's all on video. I did it for real, and you can check that out on my YouTube at Renault. And there was one other thing I wanted to mention, and it's that when it comes to these, I want to have like a customer of the week, because I do serve clients and customers. I do sales and service and financial industry, and so none of the customers this week really stood out. And so I'm just going to talk about this one customer I had from several years ago, who I remember fondly, and I say that sarcastically. This customer, they did an application for our services and our features with a representative, and so it requires a physical signature because of how they set it. We can do it using a voice enrollment as well, but in this particular circumstances, a physical signature was required just because of circumstances. So the representative, it wasn't me, sent the application out to them. All it needed was their signature. All they had to do was sign it and send it back. And so I got this call from this lady. She wanted to know why her enrollment for our services and our features did not go into effect. It's like, well, let's see what's going on. It looks like we sent the information out to you. We haven't received it yet. How long ago did you send it back to us? Well, I have it right. And so she's like, well, I have it right here. Well, what do you mean you have it right there? We require a signature, ma'am. But the person over the phone did it for me. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, they did a pre-filled application. So everything's filled out for you. All you have to do is sign it and send it back. Oh, but I just don't understand how this works. I thought I did it over the phone. And I'm like, okay, well, so basically, this woman was a moron. Like, I don't know how she dresses herself. I don't know how she feeds herself. But it took me almost 15 minutes explaining to her that we need the application. The one that's in your hand, lady. The one you're staring at right now. The one that requires your signature. And it has a little note on it that says signature required. You need to sign that and send it back to us, you dumb lady. And I don't know, y'all, there's some people out there who are real idiots. And I mean, you know it. I mean, obviously, but man. So anyway, that wasn't a customer from this week. It was a customer from several years ago, but I still remember them because of how stupid this person was, and it took forever to get them to realize that the application in your hand needs to be sent back to us. That's why your services didn't go into effect. Oh yeah, I mentioned Vampirella earlier, and so this was Vampirella number 2. I did a review video of that. I'm gonna have to try and change my format because I really need to be able to zoom in because this art was something else. This whole comic was something else. Basically, I titled my video Sophomore Slump, and that's because Vampirella number 2 is not as good as Vampirella number 1. With the Vampirella number 2, it doesn't start off where Vampirella 1 ended, because Vampirella number 1 ended on a cliffhanger. Lilith showed up, Vampirella's mother, around this exact same time as Stankios, Lilith's spy, who's a black shadow creature. He inhabits like vermin, like rats and roaches and things like that. They both made these kind of dramatic uh, endings to Vampirella #1, and I was kind of intrigued to see what happens next. And in Vampirella #2, uh, Lilith doesn't show up. Eustachios doesn't show up. That setup was there, but then nothing happens. And also, Van Christ from Vampirella 1 doesn't make an appearance at all. And so Vampirella #2 really needs like an editor. And I don't know if this is the typical quality of Dynamite Comics, but it really needed an editor. Anyone who's familiar with Mr. Terrific and the most recent one, and with all those repeated panels, there is some of that going on in Vampirella #2, and it's like you don't. I didn't realize how incredibly lazy it is until you see it physically. Like you can see videos about it all day, but until you actually see it in the comic, then wow, you know. And typically, you know, people just don't buy comics with repeating panels, or the repeating panels doesn't show up so often that it becomes noticeable. But it was yeah, all those repeating panels, and there were some editorial mistakes in this Vampirella #2, by the way. Like in the opening shot, it has Vampirella breaking up a child prostitution. So how that works is there was the guy who was selling the child, there was the child, and then there was the John, the person who was going to, you know, buy the child prostitute in the streets. And so Vampirella kills the guy who was selling the child. The child runs home and escapes. But then the John, who was going to actually buy the prostitute, or the child prostitute, just disappears from the comic altogether. Nothing. Needs an editor. And then there were also, like I said, some not just copy pasting panels, but there's also this other section where it's clearly recycled art. And so yeah, I called my video, like I said, sophomore slump, and that's because Vampirella #2 did not meet my expectations for Vampirella #1. And although it did introduce some pretty cool, not villains, not heroes, but just characters. They're called the Six Marys, and they're pretty cool. I like the design on them. But, like I said, you can't just go from Eustachios and Lilith having this dramatic entrance at the end of Vampirella #1, and then to Vampirella #2, those characters just don't even show up. That's not cool. I was looking forward to seeing what happened next on that. Anyway, that's my weekend review. I lost some weight. Despite not really trying too hard, I did a comic review on Vampirella. My semester started. I did my customer of the week and my Spelunky daily challenges, where I beat the game on video. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. And the Popeyes meme. The Popeyes meme is real, y'all. That's all. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.